Hello, welcome to the Russell Photo Expo info session. Today we want to talk a little bit about how the expo got started, a little bit about how to apply and what we're looking for, and we're also going to talk a little bit about where the funding comes from and how the decisions are made. We just want to give some background information about everything about the Russell Photo Expo. So who are we? My name is Darren. My day job is as Global Affairs Canada Visual Arts Curator. I have been a curator for photography, painting, and craft for over 10 years now, and I've worked across Canada from Nova Scotia to BC, and I'm happy to be here in Township of Russell. I'm joined by the co-organizer, Kim Legault, who was the communications coordinator with Russell Township. Kim, you can talk a little bit about your experience.
Mm-hmm. Yes, hi. So Kim Legault with the Township. So I've been the communication coordinator for almost 2 years. This will be my third photo expo, so I didn't miss out on the first one, but jumped in after it was started to help expand it. I'm also a graphic designer and an artist at heart, so photography is an interest of mine.
Some of my roles include large-scale kind of artworks. This is in Canada House. We worked with artists to create the rug. We acquired some of these artworks for our missions around the world. I do everything from installation to curatorial work. But before this, I also worked for the School of Photographic Arts in Ottawa. So I taught photography for some time. I curated the gallery there. I worked with photographic institutions across Canada, actually internationally, to promote photography, contemporary photography, around the world as an art medium. Photography is a major passion of mine and something that I want to bring to the table and want to bring into the town that I live in Russell Township. So how did it start and what's the point? As part of my position, I get to see photo expositions happening around the world. There's a great one, Photo Gaspésie, which is an outdoor photo exhibition that happens once a year. It's really fantastic. I've also, these couple of images here you see are from Images VV in Switzerland. They're all temporary exhibitions that are designed to change the space, to radicalize the space, to look at photography in different ways, to look at the landscape in a different way. And I've seen hundreds of tourists. I've seen the community re-engage with their town. And I've seen these photo festivals create deeply memorable experiences. And I really wanted to bring that to where we live in Russell. That being said, I also bring a level of supplier. I know where most of these festivals get their images printed. I know how to work with outdoor photography. This is thanks to my previous work experience. So I have all of these resources I wanted to bring, and it just so happened that Russell Township was also doing the Photo Expo, and it was just a fantastic pairing. It started a little bit with some of the growth thanks to a grant I received from 880 Cities, which is really designed to encourage people in our town to do something with the photos they're already taking. Almost all of us have cell phones that we're taking images of ourselves and people around us, and the incredible moments that we're doing with. And those photos typically live on our phones or live on our cameras and kind of die. They don't quite do anything with them. Maybe you'll print a couple for photo albums. Maybe you'll print a couple for a photo book or share them. But what else? What else can we do with these incredible images that you're already taking? And that's part of the encouragement. We're also looking to make our town a little bit more interesting. You know, how unique is it that we have outdoor photo art along our walking trails? How dynamic and how interesting is that? What a selling feature to be able to say, yeah, come on over, we'll take a walk and we'll see some incredible imagery along the outdoor biking trails. And that being said, I want to encourage more artists to come to Russell. I want to encourage more of an arts community. I want to encourage more folks to keep taking photos and talk about it, and bring more people into Russell and just to experience some of what we have to offer. So like I mentioned before, the township thought it was a good idea, and we kind of took what already happened with the Photo Expo and sought to grow it. And Kim, can you expand on that a little bit? Why you thought it was a great idea to grow it?
Yes. So as I said previously, I was not in the role at that point, but the township did already have a photo group, which is a group on Facebook where photographers will share just random pictures here and there, and then they'll share tips and tricks, and it's just a way for them to share their work with others, and a lot of good comments and tips on that group. Also, while following that group, the township uses those photos when we need photos in various ways for promos, campaigns. We like using photos of artists from our region. It's a great way to showcase their work and to see the township also in the perspective of others besides our own staff that takes photos. So doing the expo with the Autumn in the Country and expanding it to a higher level is a great way to reach more than just our residents. It's promoting our township. It's bringing some, hopefully one day, big tourism, or just having people come visit. We had some people in the past few years visit from Ottawa and New Orleans who'd never been, but they saw that there was an expo. So it's a great way to feature our nice community.
Yeah, and we've had some really fantastic buy-in from our community organizations as well. My husband and I also organized the Autumn in the Country Arts Festival. The Russell Agricultural Society thought it was a really fantastic idea. And the more we bring it up to local businesses, the more people really get on board and are excited about this idea of bringing art and bringing culture and kind of expanding what we have to offer. As a reminder, Autumn in the Country is a September Arts Festival. I'll get into that a little bit later. But the art scene in Russell has really, really grown, and I can't wait to show it off more. And the Russell Photo Expo is just one way that you can get involved with it, whether you consider yourself an artist or not. This expo is designed to help you not just look at fine art, but be a part of it and get engaged with it. One thing we do, or one thing that's really unique about this, is that we're using best practices that happen on a national and provincial level in our little Russell Township. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Yes, we've kind of pared it down a little bit, but there's some things that we do that really set us apart from other people. The first one is that it's open and free. If you look at other photo calls around the world, but let's say here, I've got a couple of examples here in Canada and North America, almost all of them require a payment, an upfront kind of payment, a processing fee, or some sort of payment to participate. And we're so happy that this is free, that anybody from any walk of life can submit a photograph or submit something to be considered. It's something that we really pride ourselves on, and it's a best practice that I think is greatly missing. The other portion of it is that most of these calls require CVs, bios, artist statements, having to put together a lot of documentation to support why you think you are an artist. And I think that we've paired that right back to just an artist statement, telling us a little bit about your image. And to do that, it means that we really encourage, whether you're picking up a camera for the first time, as a 10-year-old, or you've been taking images, don't know how to do it, want to get more into the art scene, or you're a professional photographer, you want to turn some of that kind of knowledge into a more artistic or more locally engaged way, it really is open for everyone. And more specifically, we've created a youth category. For those that don't know, if you apply to an arts university, you need to have items on your CV that are done, of art projects that are done outside of school. They need to see that almost in every single art school that you see across the country. And so this is that opportunity. As part of this, we also go to high schools and talk about careers in the arts. We talk about different pathways, and we are also providing the opportunity to get those CV line items for the kids that are interested in pursuing arts as a full-time career. Whether here at U Ottawa or Concordia or Nova Scotia College of Art and Design, Ontario College of Art and Design, they all require something, and we're giving this as a free opportunity to get that item. And whether you're chosen as a winner or not, I don't think is necessary, but participation goes a long way. Our youth category is really endearing. When we sit on juries, most of the juries talk about different perspectives, unique perspectives. They're often lower images than what we're used to seeing, and it's a really wonderful kind of category that's not available in many places. In fact, it's very rare to see youth arts competitions like this where you can win a car fee. The other thing we do is a lot of your images will go through a little bit of a printing and mounting phase. So again, whether you are familiar with printing your images or not, almost all images that are printed, that are chosen, selected, and mounted, will go through a color correction process. We'll have tests done and modifications done to make sure that the image you present is exactly what's shown that's printed and mounted. We print these on a specialized outdoor panel that is safe for up to 5 years, which is a really unique kind of graphic process available in Ottawa. And we often provide a little bit of back and forth on making sure that it's the best quality. I do a lot of this work thanks to my years and years of editing and printing processes in my undergraduate degree in photography. So it goes through a little bit of stage to make sure that this is the best and most long-lasting images possible. And that's all free. So we're really happy to provide some of these things. And the other thing, as a heads up, we get hundreds and hundreds of images, which is really awesome, and we're really happy to showcase all of them. But I do want to put that out there that we're processing a lot. It takes a lot of effort, and we're going through all of them. We do go through them to make sure that they meet the rules and regulations, and that's something that we see year after year after year. Is many of the images or some of the submissions are not taken within the boundaries of Russell Township, and that is one of the key kind of rules. There's not many regulations. We're not sticklers for how close you are to the theme, or we're not sticklers on whether it's considered portraiture and landscape. But it does have to be taken within the township. It is our one big rule. So if it doesn't, we will kind of email you and say, hey, heads up, these don't qualify. We also make sure that they're presented to the juries the best they can. We also read your artist statements, make sure they make sense. So we're going through each and every single image and making sure that your image is presented to the best it can for the chance for it to win and be printed and mounted and receive the Carfax fee. The other thing that we do is make sure that the size is good enough. I said this before, and we're going to release a little bit of a FAQ, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to make sure your image is sized correctly so that I can print it that large. So if you need help or you're unsure, please just contact us and say, hey, is this big enough? Or hey, I submitted. Does this make sense? Does this work? We're happy to answer those questions. We're happy to help you figure out, make sure that works just fine. So the other question we often get is who decides? Who decides which images get chosen and which don't? It's not me, it's not Kim. We use the best practice of an independent jury. So we pick usually 3 people from across Eastern Ontario. The jury consists of professionals in their field, so curators with 5 to 10 years of experience in their institution with some photo history. We're looking at award-winning artists who have documented a significant dedication to their practice. So they use photography for many, many years. We're looking for photography professionals who know our community, who are invested in our community, who live here, and who work with photo and images on a regular basis. Francophone representation is essential on our jury. The jury members either have to be bilingual, or we have to make sure there is Francophone folks. And they discuss a whole wide range of things. They discuss artistic merit. They discuss what the intent was. They do discuss on how it relates to the theme. They discuss what is unique or personable or interesting. How does this image stand out from the rest? Why is this important? It does help to provide a little bit of a statement. The jury does look at the images, and sometimes they'll say, well, what was the artist intending here? And they'll look at what you have written. They'll kind of compare and talk about that a little bit, just like in most other arts juries. I do take notes, so if you are interested in hearing some of that feedback, that can be provided after the event. If you want to know more about why or what people's had to say about your work. This year, the jury is going to be made up of mostly artists, actually. The first artist we have is Christine Fitzgerald, who's a multi-award-winning photo-based artist who typically works in antique processes. So think of a wet collodion process, tintypes. She's been working in photography for many, many years, has been able to travel around Canada and even up to the north to work on her images. She recently completed a residency at the British Museum, where she was asked to take photographs of some of the bird collections to talk about bird migration. She is from Eastern Ontario, is bilingual, and is one of Canada's leading photo-based artists. We have Lexine Manard, who's from Russell and who has been active in the Russell area for some time. She's a professional photographer. She works in weddings and headshots and portraits and families, and spends all of her days talking about photography. It's so fantastic to have someone from Russell who's able to talk a little bit about unique places, unique features, and speak to our township's future. We also have Jessica Sarrazin, who's a little bit more closer to Hawkesbury and Hill, who's a photo-based artist and has been recognized across Ontario into Quebec as well for her abstract and kind of artistic photography. And again, all three juror members have years of experience and are going to be looking at your images with a critical eye and talking about them on different levels. Typically, there's 4 winners. Again, there's a landscape category, a portraiture category, there's a best overall, and there's a youth category. We take portraiture quite lightly, I would say. Some juries in the past have suggested, well, it's a portrait of a bird almost. If you feel your work has to be considered in a category, please put it in the artist statement, and we'll make sure to include it there. The winning images take, it's a long jury deliberation process. I'd say it would take about 3 hours or so, depending on how people feel. If you don't get chosen, there are a few honorable mentions who will receive a small prize package with photo, which will also include a subscription to Photo Ed magazine, which is one of Canada's only photography magazines that feature a lot more kind of artistic work as opposed to, let's say, Canada Geographic or National Geographic. Along with some other things. The jury finds it incredibly difficult. They want to award 10, but we can't. We can't. We have enough money for 4. Again, I take notes. So if you didn't win, you know, the choices are chosen. So there's no real chance to complain about it. But if you're interested to know why your work wasn't, or what people had to say about it, or you know, feel free to email, and I can provide some of that feedback. I want to introduce a couple kind of concepts and terms for you. Most of the Russell Photo Expo is funded by grants. Grants are money given to artists or to municipalities or to nonprofit organizations to create artwork. The City of Ottawa has a grant for artists. Ontario Arts Council has several grants available for individuals. We apply for one as a municipality, and it's the only one available. Most other towns do this, and I'm so happy that we're able to bring this on. The other kind of big granting body is Canada Council for the Arts, and again, most of these granting bodies are for individual projects. This is the only one that's available to us, and it funds a large portion of the Photo Expo. So thanks to Ontario Arts Council, and then Russell Township, of course, covers the bulk of the rest. So it's a great partnership there. The other term you're going to hear is a CARFAC fee, and CARFAC is the national standard on what to pay artists. This organization was founded in the 70s, and it really sets us apart from the Americans and the Europeans, in which we say, hey, if an artist is exhibiting somewhere, they should be paid this much. Hey, if an artist is exhibiting in a coffee shop or somewhere that's not really a gallery, maybe this is what you should consider. Hey, do you want to use an artist in your feature? Hey, here's some pricing regulations and some guidelines. CARFAC is, again, nationally standard, and we're so happy to provide that to our winners. We feel that artists should be recognized financially for all their hard work. And while it's a bit of an award for us, it is something to consider if you are moving forward with your artistic career. Hey, here's a baseline that I can charge. I should mention, actually, I think I forgot, I'll move back a little bit. These works are not forever. They're guaranteed about up to 5 years. And so I think after some time, we're going to see some degradation. We're going to see some color changing. We are going to see some damage being done to them. So there will be some time where some of these images get swapped out for newer ones. And the CARFAC fee that we pay is up to 5 years as well. So this year, the theme is up close and personal. Every year there's a theme. We love coming up with some ideas or giving some inspiration, and I hope folks take this inspiration and really think creatively about it. I've seen some submissions already that are really responding to this theme, and the jury considers it. It's not a major component, but they do really consider how people take it and run with it. We have seen some incredible macro photography in previous years, which has inspired this theme this year. I've seen some really beautiful images of birds and of owls, and I've seen some incredible bug imagery. And I'd love to see more of that. And I know the jury will be looking for that as well. But maybe you don't have a macro photography, maybe you don't have a specialty lens there. I think you can also get creative with getting up close and personal in terms of humanitarian ways as well. How can you show the personal feelings that you have while you're in Russell? Or how can you show me some really unique stories that I would never hear or see from if I didn't know? How can you get up close and personal with both nature and with our town, but also with yourself and with your friends and with your colleagues? The up close and personal theme is, yes, physical, but it's also kind of a bigger state of mind. It has a bit more of an artistic kind of intent to it. Here are some great examples. If you need tools, for example, the Ottawa Tool Library has a number of photographic elements that you can rent. So does VisTech in Ottawa. The Conseil des Arts de Prescott Russell has also some incredible resources and some other exhibition opportunities. So if you do want to take this and run with it, they are always happy to talk to you about events happening. If you're interested in becoming a larger part of the community, Art Engine is a free email subscription that just sends you an email every couple of days that say, hey, there's an exhibition happening. Hey, there's more calls for photography. Hey, there's other things happening. Art Engine is here in the Ottawa Valley. Akimbo would be the national resource for that. So if you're interested in taking your images on a broader scale, they have lots and lots for that. And of course, the Ottawa Art Gallery is a free resource if you need inspiration for what you want to photograph and you're not sure where to get it. The Ottawa Art Gallery is always a fantastic place to be. And as a reminder, the winning images will be unveiled. Literally, we take a cloth and we unveil the images, which is always a big shock of oohs and ahs. And those are unveiled at the Autumn and Country Arts Festival, which this year will happen on September 13th, followed by a couple special events on the 14th. It'll go from about 12 to 4 or a little bit longer, but that would be a really safe time. We're really happy to showcase them. Every submission will get printed in some capacity, whether it's all 5 or it's a selection of your images, and they'll be exhibited there. We typically get about 300 to 400 folks coming in through our festival, and this year likely a little bit more. So if you feel a little bit nervous about people seeing your work, now is kind of the time, because you'll be showcased along with dozens and dozens of other artists. The Autumn in the Country is also a studio tour, so you can see your work being exhibited. You can also go to people's studios and see pottery being made. You can see painting being made. You can see murals. There will be a public art installation this year at McDougall Park. There will be events happening, so ways that you can get your hands dirty, I guess, so to speak. The Fine Art Market also happens. This is in the big barn behind the Russell Arena. And you'll see artists from across Russell, but also across the Ottawa Valley and Eastern Ontario join in and showcase some of their work. And at the end of all this, we have a battle of the brushes where amateur and professional artists will beat the clock and try to create some incredible images in a very short amount of time. It's always fun. I participated once. It was incredibly nerve-wracking, but very exhilarating. It's always a good time. There's usually live music and refreshments there as well. Like I said, we get hundreds of people, and it's a really fantastic arts festival. So I want to remind you that the Russell Photo Expo is part of this bigger arts festival in our community. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. And I just want to thank everyone for coming. We're going to stop the recording. There is a frequently asked questions on the website, but you can always reach out to us. We're happy to talk about, or we're happy to help you with your submission. We're always interested to share the love with this incredible opportunity in our town. So thanks for coming.